success.
Now I have a more important question to get to when it comes to the De La Soul concert. Did you do your performance off of Balloon Mind State at the concert?
I did Flavor of the Month and Choice Is Yours.
So you didn't do your record with them?
Nah.
You just jumped right to which record did you do on
I just
Balloon
put
Mind
that
State?
on my phone this week. Balloon Mind State.
I did actually
You're on there twice, aren't you?
I think I did a Saturdays remix. The first record I ever rhymed. The first time anyone ever heard me was on the De La Soul. De La Soul is Dead. Fanatic of the B Word.
You did but you did all the skits too, right?
Long did the skits. Yeah. Long's hilarious, dude.
No, you weren't on there at all. Did you have like a skit on there?
No, I didn't. Long did all the
skits.
skits.
I'm thinking. Sorry.
I'm
thinking of.
Yo, I hate that De La's now on iTunes, but they're not on Spotify.
And even like this is my word. Like case in point, the De La show itself, Irving Plaza, sold out,
of course,
to the rafters. De La gets, saying like they are the quintessential group in hip hop, and I think everyone would agree with that. And literally, there's not. I can't think of a better performer.
Oh no,
than De La.
With De La, I think they consciously made a choice though.
Yeah, me too. I think De La did a great job.
They're like, we're gonna stick to this lane and we're gonna beat the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people
are gonna become good performers.
Yeah, but that lane is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like literally,
no, but it's
like they speak, man. Like
no, absolutely. But I think it's like, we're not gonna be huge superstar rappers, and let's not even attempt to be. Let's make De La music for De La fans, and do great De La shows.
Because a lot of artists lose it,
which is success
when they continue to try. Though for a lot of artists, they end up falling off and getting disrespected a little bit because what you remember was them still forcing out these records that you were like, oh no, that's not it.
Yeah.
You're another example. You decided in like after Without a Doubt, whatever it was, when you started doing Dres the Black Sheep solo stuff. Mm-hmm. It was to college radio. It was to underground. It was to Europe. You were just like, that's where I'm gonna go.
I mean, honestly, and that's because everyone's perception of success isn't the same. Like when I was young, my perception of success wasn't to be what Jay-Z and Puff are. I didn't care to be 100 millionaire, or the first billionaire.
Not to mention that you couldn't have even fathomed it back then.
Yeah. Honestly, there were no millionaires in the game back then. Right. Sincerely, none. But that wasn't my idea. That wasn't who I wanted to be. And I'm glad. I'm happy for those that did accomplish that. But that's not everybody's goal. That doesn't mean success to everyone.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, literally being a real voice that's respected. This is my word. I walk around New York, any borough, any projects, anywhere by myself, respected. Like that's something money cannot buy.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And this is my word. Like that's my win. And that I'll take the time I speak at high schools, junior high schools. I'm on a urban arts partnership board, you know what I'm saying, with Rosie Perez. I deal with, the arts programs in the high schools of kids. I've made rhymes about passing the regents that kids use to help them study for the regents. Like these are things that, that a lot of cats don't do.
So let's start there. What did you?
Don't act like you know what regions are. You fucking.
I'm out of town. My kids will know.
That's some New York shit. You know what I'm saying?
Without question.
Yo, but my kids are gonna know. I'm gonna have to know about it. Nah,
they probably won't have regions.
So where did the story start for Dres? What was the first? I don't even know where you were born.
I was born in Queens, New York.
Okay, where in
Queens?
Yeah, I'm from Astoria Projects.
Astoria Projects in Queens.
Building 105, 1-05 Astoria Boulevard.
Yo, I know a chick over on Astoria Projects.
I know a few.
Yeah, I bet you do. She's kind of bad. Born in Queens. All right, so born in Queens.
Yeah. Between Astoria Projects and the Bland Projects in Flushing. With my parents. And I actually moved to North Carolina. My stepfather was in the Army and moved us as a family to North Carolina, which was where I met Long. Mm-hmm. And
how long were you there for?
I was there from junior high school.
How long were you there for?
I moved down in junior high school and went to high school there. The week I finished high school, I came back to New York. But I would come back every summer, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of there.
Where in North Carolina?
In Fayetteville. Okay. And I spent 1 year in a small town called Sanford. But Fayetteville was dope. Big shout out to everybody from Fayetteville, E.E. Smith High School, dope high school. A school that made me understand how cool it was to be smart. Because I moved from New York, and I kind of had these preconceived notions about Carolina and just the racism.
New York,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I get to Fayetteville, and it's an all-black high school, and I was blown away that everybody looked just like me, and being smart was the cool thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you was running around nutting up, you was kind of frowned upon. Like cats wasn't even really messing with you because you was kind of stopping them from being who they were supposed to be.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Literally. And it gave me a dope insight to myself. it kind of pushed me to, to take school seriously and look at things beyond, my corner, or where I came
from Queens.
Yeah.
You're half Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. I just came from Puerto Rico. Yeah, I just came from Puerto Rico last week.
You found out at Summer Jam?
Yeah.
I was about to. It's so weird that it's where you went. I was about to say, what is your ethnic background? Because you don't look just black. You look like I could see you be Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
or
I'm black and Puerto Rican.
So you're black and
Who's
Puerto Rican.
My father. My father's Puerto Rican. My mother's.
That's why you look like special ed.
Big shout out to my family in Puerto Rico. I'm actually a relative of Ismael Rivera. I don't know if you know what that is. No, he's a famous salsario in Puerto Rico. He's probably the biggest. I'll go into a gift shop in Puerto Rico and my uncle's faces on t-shirts.
You know him? Like you're cool with him? It's not like a distance.
I haven't seen him since I was a baby, right. But I was with his son out there. His junior as well is a very famous singer on the island. Very famous, globally, very famous. And they made what was known as street music. You know what I'm saying in Puerto Rico. And
so were you close with your father?
I was until the separation.
Okay.
I was. My father took me. I was so close with my father as a child. He took me to see Fritz the Cat, which is an X-rated movie. I was probably about 6-7 years old. Like we were
probably why your mom said you need to be.
I think we understand the separation now.
But took you to a porno. You relate to your Puerto Rican side?
Yes, I do. But I spoke Spanish.
Not prominent.
It's becoming prominent again. Like the separation definitely had its effect on me. I spoke Spanish fluently before the separation, and then it wasn't in the house for about 9 years.
Right.
So I lost it, and I'm really just starting to gain all that back again. And I just came from Puerto Rico. I just got married in Puerto Rico.
Oh shit!
And
Congrats.
Thanks a lot. And I just saw that side of my family that I haven't seen in many years, and I can't wait to get back because I had such a good time and was able to rekindle things that I hadn't.
Where'd you get married?
In La Mejia is a resort in Puerto Rico, right on the water.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I thought about getting married in Puerto Rico. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So you're down there. You went to North Carolina through high school.
Yeah.
And Long, you met him in high school?
I met Long in high school. My senior year in high school. I only knew Long about a year. But what was cool was that I was in a really. I went from this all black high school to an all white high school. My senior year, my mom became the director of social services in a small town, and so now I'm going to the school, and it was everything that I feared. You know what I'm saying? Right. When I initially came out, it was a little racist and all the other, but it had a little click, and the thing that we all had in common was that we were all from New York. You know what I'm saying? And so every day, literally, my man Stan.
Black kids?
Yeah.
How many? How many in the school? Can you count them?
No, it's my little clique. It's probably about 7 of us. One was from Philly. There was my man Ron D-Ski, who's from Philly. My man Stan, he's from the Bronx. Long was from Brooklyn. I was from Queens, and a couple of others. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, New Yorkers always find each other.
Oh, without question.
Oh,
and the thing that really how hip hop happened for us was that my man Stan, who would have been the third black sheep, but kind of wound up getting locked up a few times for and doing some real time. But my man Stan, it was his room every day. He had the coolest mall. So literally every day after school, we go to his house. He had turntables, mics. And so we're all cutting, rhyming. All of us could cut. All of us could rhyme. You know what I'm saying? We're making these tapes for each other and just making dope sounds every day, stealing whatever vinyl we could because we, literally we're in high school. So, like however we could get vinyl, we're getting it. And it wasn't even a chance of us making a record. There was no one to send it to. We're doing it for each other.
Yeah.
But if you do something every day for a year, you become nice at it. Mm-hmm. So by the end of my senior year, we were all qualified, like dope MCs, dope DJs, because that's just what we did for the love. So give or take a few years. I'm a few years older than Long. I come back to New York. I decided my father was kind of a big hustler when I was a kid. He was a big heroin dealer, and for some stupid reason, I decided that's what I wanted to come back to New York and do. When I get back to New York, he's a whole different person. I haven't seen him in 9 years. He's a totally different man. Doesn't even relate to that anymore.
You didn't speak to him in those 9 years?
No, at all.
Not at all?
At all.
Nothing?
Like, literally, my mother, took us and was, he was a character. You know what I'm saying? It was damn near a pimp, hustler, all the above. And, my mom was like,
she just deaded it.
Yeah, deaded it, in totality. So I come back to New York and I find him, and I'm thinking we're about to do our BMF or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so when he's not that person, I take it upon myself to kind of use accolades that he already has established and kind of jump into it with both feet. I got my own little crew that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, that are now doing what they do. And it was probably
why that route? money, like just
sincerely, it was a huge mistake.
You didn't have any other outlet, or
I did.
Like, what did you want to do?
I did. I just felt like you know how a son emulates a father, like how it's really important that fathers.
So you were in your when you're like 17, 18, like
thinking.
Because I went 5%.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You didn't have a father.
Is that I didn't have a father, but it's that age where you're like trying to like.
You're trying to identify yourself,
and you whatever you pick, you go at it heavy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true. And
so you went with that white.
I went hard. Yeah, I did. And I just say I went hard, and I was really fortunate, even though I was unfortunate. I was one of the first people locked up by TNT, task force that New York created behind the crack epidemic, and I was really fortunate that I was able to kind of do that early and get that out of my system. I did 10 months on Rikers Island. When Kool G Rap dropped Rikers Island, I was on Rikers Island.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Word. And it was everything.
Hip-hop.
It was everything.
You were what, 19?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rikers Island?
It was everything that record says and more.
Yeah.
Like, it was dead serious, especially then. And from there, I did 10 months in the halfway house. Now, in the halfway house, I got in college. I found a job. I started doing the things that I should have came to New York and done to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you try to take a shortcut only to learn that the shortcut is the long way. You know what I'm saying? And that was the experience that I had, kind of had to go through. The next year, I bumping along, walking down. I'm coming from work. I'm going to school and working. I bumping along on the street of Manhattan, walking by me.
Literally,
literally walking by me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going on with you? Well, what's the deal?" He's like, "Yo, I just got up here." He's had been in touch with Red Alert, so every summer he was coming to New York. He was in the studio for the making of the Jungle Brothers' first album.
Why was he there? Who's he?
Who, Red?
No, Long. Who did he know to be in there?
Long. He knew Red Alert. This is how it all comes together. Red Alert had came down to North Carolina with Sparky D and the Real Roxanne back when that record, and all of that was popping. Yeah. He sees Long. Long was like the opener for that set for the show. Long was so small, he's standing on milk crates to cut. So small, but dope. One of the dopest DJs you'd ever have heard. You know what I'm saying? Literally killing it. So Red is impressed with him, like, yo, little man, this, that, and the other, chopping it up. When Long's like, yo, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm in New York every summer. Red gives him his number. Yo, get up with me when you come up. So when he comes up, Red's, taking him around.
Oh.
So he's in the studio for the Jungle Brothers' first album.
Crazy.
Long actually did the cuts on Buddy. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
and
shit.
just to say, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, yeah. So I'm bumping along, and I'm like, what's good with you? What you up to? He's like, yo, I just got up here. He tells me his little story real quick. He's living in Brooklyn in a studio apartment with his aunt, her man, and a baby.
Jeez,
their kid
sounds good, right?
In a studio. But mind you, I just came out of this halfway house. I'm working and going to school. I got my first apartment in the Bronx, 183rd and Valentine. I got a 2-bedroom. I'm like, yo.
What?
I'm like, yeah, 183rd and Valentine. It's my first apartment. I'm Queens
it's like
kid.
off of Fordham?
Right off of Fordham.
By the movie theater?
Right by the movie theater.
Holy
Word
shit.
up. You know what I'm saying?
I probably ran into this guy.
Probably so. God bless Pee Wee, my dude. Yeah, I'm right around the corner from Sammy B and the whole nine. But just say, so I'm like, yo, I'm saying I got my own bed, my own apartment. You my little man. Yo, come crash with me. He moves all of his equipment, records, this and the other up to the Bronx. And then from there, he starts introducing me to the native cats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like I said, like he's done made a relationship with everybody. So now I meet all of these cats. And I'm like, wow, yo, Long, like we been doing what they do, for a minute. Like we could put some stuff together. He had, as a DJ, you're going to respect this. He has stacks of music that he would say maybe 3 in this pile, maybe 5 records in this pile, maybe 2 records in this pile. Each one of those stacks represented the loops that would go into a record. And he would play me the loops and be like, I want to put this on top of this and this on top of this.
So I had no way to actually put it together.
He didn't have no equipment.
He just had the music prepared.
He just had it in his head.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And this is where...
Because the Black Sheep album has mad stacks of sounds and
over 40 samples were cleared on that record.
You cleared them? I guess you had to.
Biz had just got sued.
Yeah,
Biz had just, which is another reason why those kind of records aren't even made today.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
Whole other story.
But just to say, so we decided to put a demo together, and I had a bunch of jewelry and all this stuff. We're going to pawn shop, you know what I'm saying? And I pawn all my jewelry, and right there in the pawn shop, I give Long half the money. I'm like, yo, we're partners now. We're gonna use this money to make a demo. We'll ask Red and them to help us to see if we can get a deal. We make a demo. Everyone's blown away.
What's the demo?
What's the what?
What's the demo? Was it any of the songs on the album?
The only song that was on the album is Counting Sheep. But there was 2 other songs that weren't. And So we played. Red had a cat named Funkin' Klein working for him. God bless that. Dave
Funkin' Klein?
Yeah.
I mean, Funkin' Klein comes up on every podcast now.
Yo, Dave, dope cat, dope cat. And God bless him. So Funk hears it, he's blown away. Everybody's like, oh snap, like wow. You know what I'm saying? We've been with them for a little bit of time.
You had the
now.
name Black Sheep?
Yeah. Because like I said, I pawned my jewelry, like they were wearing medallions and this and the other. I just came home and I was like, yo, Long, we're kind of the black sheep of this crew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we play this stuff for Funkin' Klein, and Red has him make some phone calls on our behalf, like, yo, call a few labels, see if they take a meeting with him. Funniest part of this, we wanted to sign to Def Jam. Huge fans of Def Jam, especially coming from Carolina. Everything that was Def Jam, we had to have it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They kind of represented the culture thoroughly at that point. So, we take a couple of meetings, but when we get to Def Jam, we have a meeting set up with Leo. And
Here comes the voice.
I put the cassette on his desk, and he's not even looking up. He's barely looking up. If it's right now, let's say it's March. He's like, Black Sheep, oh goodness. If it's March, he's like, I'm not even gonna be able to listen to this until July. And I'm like, like for real? He's like, yeah, for real. So I like, shit, we might as well take off. Shit, I grabbed the thing. I was like, yo, thanks for your time, and we break out. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't hear it or anything. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna leave it later for him. He's gonna tell us that later for this, man. He's not into it. So we take meetings with other cats.
July.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
I won't get to this till July.
Right. So we take meetings with other cats. Everything's kind of going successful. The next day, I get a call at my house. This was prior to having cell phones. And he calls me at my house. I don't even know how he got the number. Is this Dres? Is this Dres? Yeah, this is Dres. What's up? This is Leo Cohen. I have a limousine on the way to come get you right now. We're gonna sign you to Def Jam.
What?
I'm like, yo, I'm saying, dude. I say, have you heard our music? It's a long pause. I hear it's phenomenal. I hear it's incredible. I was like, yo, we were just in your office yesterday. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. The limousine should be there. I was like, yo, you can tell the limousine to turn around. We're good. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Just did that right off the because my whole thing is like, yo, like, nah, this is not who I want to be running with. Like, if he's looking at me and at us and even the artists I'm feeling sorry for the artists on Def Jam if this is how he gets down. And I kind of bumped my head after that. I'm gonna tell you an even further funny story, because now I'm mad at Russell for having this dude as the head of something that I totally respect. I'm like, yo, why you got this dude? He's a dick. Why is he the head of Def Jam when it's Def Jam? You know what I'm saying? So we get signed
you was caught up.
I was caught up without
You're emotional about it.
I'm a kid.
You was caught up into like
and I did something
hip-hop fucking...
And I made a mistake. And this is my word. I made a mistake that I still probably pay for on some level. So we get signed to Mercury. Dave Gossett, who signed us, Dave Gossett and Lisa Cortez, big shout out to them. They signed us, and he used to work at Def Jam. So I'm at a seminar in Atlantic City. He's sitting with Russell Simmons. I had stepped off to the bathroom. When I come back, Russell Simmons is sitting in my chair. It's a table like this big with seats all around it. And I don't know Russell, but I want him to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a little upset with him about the whole Leo thing, because I'm looking at him like, like, how do you have this dude that honestly just doesn't give a fuck other than nothing but the bottom line is obvious, representing but I'm feeling no ways. And instead of me sitting in the chair right here, I woke up to Russell's chair and I'm like, yo, get out my chair, man.
No, you didn't.
I did. And this is my word. Yo.
And what'd he say?
He got up and he walked away. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't stay. He just got up and walked away. And so I sit down with Dave, and Dave is dying laughing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it was the mistake of a child, which is kind of what goes on in hip hop right now. Like, the young cats will really bump their head talking to an older cat when they really should have just sat down next to him and took in what was going on.